Let me put this one.
You're not there yet. Amazing.
Get it higher. We're live?
Yes.
MashaAllah. Let's get this up a little bit more. Here we go, MashaAllah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala al-ashraf al-anbiya wal mursaleen. Sayyidina nabiyyina wa qurrata a'yunina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. A very warm welcome and Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we're in the most blessed time of the year. And I still wanted to come on, although it's a Sunday, many brothers and sisters are probably still sleeping. I still wanted to come on and keep to my word of coming live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Because you see, that is one of the most important things when it comes to any type of success is commitment, consistency, seriousness about being firm with the commitments that you make. So if you want to be successful at getting a good body, you got to commit to several sessions at the gym, several workout sessions, no matter what. And if you don't have that commitment or you are unable to make that commitment, you will not see the same results as someone who is going 3 times a week, no matter what. You know, there's people that are still going to the gym now, despite fasting, despite it being Ramadan. There's people still going to the gym and working out. That's how dedicated they are. So I try to be dedicated with my craft, and my craft is not working out. My craft is not cooking. My craft is not creating videos. My craft is creating content, valuable content, educating and helping our brothers and sisters in the world of business through a spiritual lens as well, alhamdulillah. So part of that means that I have to come on and give everybody an opportunity to ask me questions. So that's what we're here for. If you have any questions, because subhanallah, we get so many messages on social media, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Questions come, but I'm unable to always answer them. It's very difficult for me to run my businesses, create content, and on top of that, obviously I've got family, I've got a son, I've got a wife, I've got a mother, I've got a brother. On top of that, to respond to 80 messages a day is very, very difficult. So we just said, let's just go live every single week, and whoever's serious, they can come and ask you the questions directly. So that's what we're doing here today, inshallah. Love you, Tanim Bhai, from brother Lukman Sharif. I love you too, brother. MashaAllah. I appreciate you. Alhamdulillah. So someone's asking, how can we join the webinar? I believe you're referring to the live presentation that I do usually twice a month. Now, because of Ramadan, we're not doing one. The next one is going to be on 20th of April, inshallah. It's a live presentation where I explain the property model that we have and why we're looking for potential partners to join us and how all of that works. The way you join is very, very simple. You go to www.sequoiaacademy.co.uk and you just register, inshallah. We right now have a waiting list of over 300 people waiting for that one presentation. We're gonna have to upgrade my Zoom account to allow for all that many people, alhamdulillah. So I am here, happy to receive your questions. I got £20,000 ready to invest. What is the best thing to do? So this is a very common question that I get. The Tanim, I've got £5,000, I've got £10,000, I've got £50,000. Sometimes on LinkedIn, I get messages saying I've got £150,000. What shall I invest in? Right? And the answer, to be very, very honest with you, is it depends. Imagine you come to me and you ask me, Tanim, I've got 10 days of holiday, of annual leave. Where shall I go? How shall I use these 10 days? Well, it depends on what you like. It depends on what you want to achieve out of a holiday. Do you want to go somewhere and explore the world? Do you want to go somewhere and then just relax? Do you want to go somewhere and learn about the culture? It really depends. So let me give you an example. Let's say you are in a career that you love. You already have your property. You're earning a good income, and you've got spare £20,000 sitting around. My advice to you will be very different from someone who's in a job where they're struggling, in a job that they hate, someone who really wants to become financially independent, who doesn't want to be part of the rat race anymore, and they've spent the last 8 years saving up this capital to be able to do something with it. My advice to that person will be very, 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 very different. Okay, so what I'm hoping to do here is teach you how to think. It's not as simple as, oh, you've got 20 grand, no problem, put it in crypto, put it in property, put it here, put it there. It doesn't work like that. Real life, you have to think a little bit more deeply. You have to think a little bit more deeply. So my question back to you, and I think the brother who asked was paradoxical clips. My advice to you is comment back and tell me, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? Because that will then give us a direction on how you should invest £20,000. For example, if you gave me £20,000 today, sorry, if I had £20,000 spare that I wanted to invest, I wouldn't put it in property. I wouldn't put it in crypto. I wouldn't put it in stocks. I wouldn't put it in an ISA. I wouldn't put it in a savings account. I would invest it in my business. I would invest it in my business because my goals are different. I'm trying to build an empire. So that 20,000 will go back into the business so that we can keep on growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So I hope that allows you to reframe how you think about investing. So let me see what other questions we've got. Love the new glasses. Thank you so much, my brother. They are new, and I thought I would go for something a little bit funky. My wife didn't like it too much at the beginning. What would you say is the worst type of business? The worst type of business is a business that you do not enjoy, is the type of business that doesn't give you the lifestyle that you want. It is a business where you don't have any certainty. You don't have any longevity. It's the type of business that is difficult to systemize and move yourself away from. So do you see, I'm not giving you an example of a business. I'm telling you, I'm describing you what the characteristics are so that you are able to then go and apply these things when you come across a business. Right. MashaAllah. So let me see any questions here on Instagram. Okay. I am looking, brother in Ghazi is asking, I am looking to start my business ASAP. I have looked at various franchises, but then I came across your post on Instagram wanted to speak to someone who can explain me your business. Fantastic, appreciate that. So this is exactly why I do a 4-hour presentation twice a month, because there are hundreds of people who want to understand what I do and how you can work with me as a business partner, because we're trying to expand our property business across the UK. So I don't have the time to sit with 100 people one-to-one and explain to them and give them 2 hours each. That's why I do a live presentation every 2 weeks. And to attend that presentation is very, very simple. www.sequoia, that's how you spell it, sequoiaacademy.co.uk. That's it. Very simple. Once you join that, alhamdulillah, in 4 hours, I will go through everything. The model, how it works, examples, figures, what I need, what I'm looking for in a partner, what the work will involve, how everything works. That's the whole point why I do these live calls twice a month, sorry. So let's see, what other questions do I have? What would you recommend for a 17-year-old college student to do? What I would recommend is to try as many different things as you can. Number one. What do I mean by that? Learn video editing, learn graphics design, learn how to write, learn how to buy and sell products online, learn how to do animations, learn how to trade stocks, learn how to invest in crypto. Learn as much as you can. And then slowly start figuring out what is it that you like, what is it that you're good at. And that will slowly allow you to start filtering down to the things that you will be best at. SubhanAllah, when I was young, I did everything. I did tutoring, I was selling watches, I was buying and selling cars, I was importing goods from Morocco, I was doing a lot of stuff, a lot of different things. And that's what allowed me to learn about, you know what, I don't like this type of business. I don't like dealing with this type of products, but I love doing this. And you know what, I'm really good at this thing, and I'm not so strong at this other thing. So we'll give you some self-awareness. As a 17-year-old, your goal is not to earn money. Your goal is to earn skills and experiences and to gain insight. You want to learn about what's out there. You want to learn about yourself. What am I good at? What am I good at? You want to learn different types of skills. You want to learn how to teach. You want to learn how to look at a diagram of a share and figure out what's going to happen next. You want to be able to learn about macroeconomic trends. You want to learn. The money will come later. Okay, fantastic. What's the story behind your company name? Amazing, very nice question. So Sequoia is the name of a very, very special tree. It's a redwood, which means that the wood itself is a nice red, warm color. So this is actually our branding. This is our branding. This is what Sequoia Red looks like. Okay. Sequoia Homes, as you can see. And this tree can live up to 2,000 years. We've actually gone to California. We went to LA last summer. We drove to the Sequoia National Forest and we went to see and touch a 2,000-year-old sequoia tree. Imagine 2,000 years old. That is the time of Isa alayhi salam. Think about that. And this tree is durable. It's a very, very beautiful, warm, welcoming red. It's got deep roots and it's not going anywhere. And it sounds posh. So that's why we thought it would be a really good name for a property business, Sequoia Homes. And that's the story. That's the story behind it. I told my business partner, and by the way, let me tell you something else. When I started my business, a property business, I didn't have any money. So let me make that very clear. When I started my property business and I had the idea and I had the vision and the concept and I did all of the research, I didn't have any money. But that didn't stop me. I approached a friend who I knew had lots of money and wasn't really doing much with them. And I said, hey, listen, I'd like to invite you to be my business partner, my silent partner. You don't have to do anything. You just have to give me the startup capital that I need. And obviously, he knew that when Tanim puts his mind to something, he's gonna see it through. He's not gonna waste this opportunity. He's not gonna waste my money. And we did the deal. He funded me for the first 2 or 3 property deals. So he gave me like 5K, 5K, 5K when I needed it. And then that's it. Boom, the business was started. So I actually asked him, you get to name the company. So he shortlisted 3 posh sounding, sophisticated names. And then from there, we looked at the meanings and then we went with Sequoia Homes. That is the story behind the company name. Thank you for asking, brother. Okay. Are you looking to branch out to Dubai? Very, very good question. And we have been mulling it over because I get sort of asked all the time, why don't you branch out to San Francisco? Why don't you come and branch out to New York? Why don't you come and branch out to Berlin? Why don't you come and branch out to Dubai? And the truth is, the model probably would work in those countries, in those cities. Any expensive cities where there is demand from professionals, this model would work. The problem I have is I would have to go there, spend significant amount of time to understand the market, understand the legal side, understand the actual demand side of things, and then slowly build things up again. Even if we found a good partner in the area, it's not straightforward. And I am better off investing that time here and building the UK's #1 corporate co-living brand. If you think about 10 years from now, what's going to be more valuable if I wanted to sell a business? If you think about what's more valuable, instead of having a small operation in so many different countries, I'm better off having the UK's best corporate co-living management business. So we decided to focus our attention here in the UK. It's a strategic decision. And not only do we want to do that, but we also want to branch out to different types of property avenues, different types of management. We want to branch out and start a maintenance business. We want to branch out and start an interior design business. It makes more sense to go deep where you are than to spread ourselves far and wide. So this gives you an insight into how we think strategically about growing a business and growing a group of businesses. That's not just growing a business. We're thinking a group of businesses, which basically means we're not interested in anything outside of the UK for now. We just want to become the best in the UK. And in the future, maybe people can buy a franchise from us and then do, if they want to try it in that country, they can. But for us, we just want to build a crazy beast of a group of companies here in the UK, inshallah bi'idhnillah. So someone is asking, do you own, manage / rent property, or do you manage property on behalf of others? So our model is very, very similar to what many big multinational companies like Hilton, Marriott, Swiss Hotel, what they do, which is they lease the piece of property long term, and then they run a business through it. So we don't buy, we don't get any mortgages, we don't get involved in any banking or financing. We just take over a property from a landlord or the owners. We lease it for a long term, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, sometimes longer. And then we do what we need to do to turn a profit. We don't run hotels. We provide accommodation to corporate professionals who are coming to London for work. So very simply put, I may rent a 6-bedroom house from a landlord for £3,000 a month. And then I'm transforming that house in a corporate house share for professionals who are looking for a room with like-minded people. And then we rent it to them. And then we might make £4,500 in terms of rental income. And then after bills and everything, expenses, internet cleaning, utility bills, council tax, we may be left with a nice little margin. And that's basically the model. You just do loads of these. I started with 1. We're now on close to 40. And in this journey, we've also started other types of management as well. But the concept is basically the same. That we take landlord, we give them their rent every single month. We take over all of the management. They have peace of mind that the property is being looked after and the income is secure. And then we do whatever we need to do. And that sometimes means the local authority is looking urgently for some properties. Okay, we got some. If you pay us well enough, we're happy to give them to you. Sometimes the Ministry of Defense is looking to house a group of people for 18 months. Okay, no problem. We have stock, we have properties, we can help you with that. Right, let's see what other questions we've got. Fantastic. So someone's asking, what about void periods? So the niche that we're in, there is so much demand for rooms that we don't really get many voids, because in the areas where we operate in, the demand for rooms is sometimes 5 times more than the supply. So void periods is not really much of a concern for us, because there is so much demand for rooms, especially nice looking rooms. MashaAllah. Let's see. How do we give one of my property to you for HMO? You can just message me the details, and then my team will follow up, inshallah. How can I start the same business as you? Well, this is what I'm doing. I'm looking for partners who want to do what I'm doing, but in a different area, because I can't be all the UK. I can only focus on one city or one part of London. So I'm looking for partners. And again, the whole point, the way you find out more is through my live presentations that are around twice a month. www.sequoiaacademy.co.uk. Do you need investment? At this stage, alhamdulillah, we don't need investment, because we generate enough capital every month. So we don't need any investors or any investment, but I really appreciate the offer. And once upon a time, we did need. MashaAllah, brother Naeem is asking, how are you? I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. I hope you're well too. What are the... I have started to learn and practice Forex trading. Now, if you are Muslim, you need to be a little bit careful about Forex trading. There is it's a massive gray area when it comes down to Sharia compliance. Is Forex trading Sharia compliant? There is a lot of different opinions on the matter. So please do your due diligence and follow an opinion of a scholar that you trust. Is recruitment business a good business? I think I've looked into it. I myself probably wouldn't get involved in a business like recruitment, because the only thing I don't like is the fact that you're constantly looking for the next client. You're constantly chasing the next client or the next candidate. So you're always in that searching mode. I don't like that. I want to have one client that pays me every month for a year or 2 years. I want to have 100, 200, 300 clients that pay me every single month for many months. I don't want to find one client, get paid a couple of £1,000, then have to go find another client and then get paid a bit, and then find another client and get paid again. I don't like that. So I have friends who are involved in the recruitment business, but guess what? They're all now interested in doing what I'm doing. So I'm not putting you off doing it. Definitely, you learn a huge amount of skills. And it's a cash-rich business, meaning if you do, you'll be able to build up quite a bit of capital. But then you need to figure out, how do I create recurring income with that capital? And in most cases, you're going to have to come back to property anyway. Someone is saying, been following you on LinkedIn. You're doing amazing. Thank you so much for the kind words. Everything that I have and that I have achieved is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we thank him first and foremost. Is crypto okay in Islam? Cryptocurrencies, there are thousands of them in terms of crypto coins and things like that. So some are definitely not halal because they involve things that are haram. For example, some of them involve riba, some of them involve certain immoral activities. So just like shares, company shares, not all of them are halal. Same thing with crypto. Some are halal, some are not halal. You need to do your research. Islamic Finance Guru has a very nice guide on which cryptos are halal and which ones you should stay away from. Should I go through uni route direct or degree apprenticeship route? That's a very good question. Now, again, it depends on what your objective is. Let's say, for example, you want to be an accountant. Okay, so now you have options. You can become a qualified accountant through a degree apprenticeship, or you can go through the traditional way of going to uni, getting an accounting degree, then doing the ACCA, and then starting work. The shortcut would be the apprenticeship degree, because you start earning straight away, you don't get any debt, and you still get a degree, and you get work experience. So that, for me, that's the way I would go if I want to be an accountant, or if I wanted to be an engineer, or if I wanted to be any career path that I can achieve through a degree apprenticeship. The degree apprenticeship is the shortcut. And you won't need to get any loans for university as well. Do you buy the house first, then rent it? And do you use interest mortgage? We do not buy the houses. Let's say, for example, I've got a client. Let's say I've got 6 or 7 people from a big bank who need accommodation, or the home office needs accommodation for some asylum seekers or whatever, and they say, look, we need a 6-bed house. Have you got anything? I don't go out and try to buy a 6-bed house. That would be stupid. What I do is find someone who has 6-bed house and then rent it from them, give them guaranteed rent for a long time, take care of all of the management, all of the bits and bobs, and then offer that property to my client. That's basically how it works. Mashallah, brother Naeemur Rahman, who is a friend and also my, shall we say, therapist has noticed that I am sort of, I've got knots in my shoulders. So I guess, yeah, we probably need to have a session. Mashallah, the brother, if you guys are on TikTok, you can see his name, Naimur Rahman, and you can add him. He does physiotherapy, massage, and hijama as well. So, you know, he comes to my office every 2 weeks and he sorts me out. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Do you get permission from the landlord? Yes, absolutely. We tell them exactly what the plan is. And that's actually what helps us get the property in the first place. Because I say to them, we're going to have professionals living here. I've already got them lined up. Let's just do this deal quickly. Your property, you've got random tenants. They're not paying on time. They're not looking after the property properly. Let's bring your property into our portfolio. Do you do Airbnb, Akhi? No, I don't do Airbnb. I tried it. It was very, very hard. We made a loss for 2 or 3 months. I don't like Airbnb, especially in London. There are many restrictions. So I personally, we don't do any Airbnb. What's your opinion on council? Do you look down on them? No, we don't look down on any property. For as long as it's a good location, we don't look down on any property. Do you benefit from the capital appreciation of the? No, we don't. But we're not interested in capital appreciation. I'm trying to make 50 grand a month in profit. Who cares about capital appreciation? This is where a lot of people go wrong. They confuse objectives. If I'm trying to build monthly income, I don't care about capital appreciation, because even if I could get some of that appreciation, it would mean selling the property. So if I sell that property, then I'm losing out on my rental income now. So who cares about capital appreciation if my goal is I want to make loads of monthly income? I want to make £10,000 a month in profit, £20,000 a month in profit, £30,000 a month in profit. The last thing on my mind is capital appreciation. Do you buy the house first, then rent it? So I have addressed that. We don't buy the house. We just lease it from the owners and then do what we need to do. And apologies if I'm missing questions. I've got questions coming on 3 different screens. I've got some questions here, I've got some questions here, and I've got some questions over there. What are some of the halal side hustles you recommend? SubhanAllah. The thing with side hustles, okay, I'll say this. When you're thinking of a side hustle, you also got to think about something that you will be able to do easily, because you're either good at it or you like it. And you want to think about something that has the potential to actually grow to a full-time income. So let's say, for example, you love editing videos. Fantastic. Let's start with that. That's your side hustle. Or let's say, for example, you love summarizing books, making notes. When you read a book, you love making notes. Okay, let's turn that into a side hustle. Or let's say that you're like me, you absolutely hate editing videos. I wouldn't recommend you now start a side hustle editing videos, because you won't last. It's not going to last very long. So it's very, very important that you think about your side hustle carefully. So you should map out, what am I good at? What are the skills that I currently have? Is there anything that I can turn into a side hustle? For some of you, for example, you may be an accountant. Okay, fantastic. Start taking on some private accounting clients. Start giving some advice to small businesses and slowly take them on as clients. And you can slowly build up. So one of the brothers who was in my academy, my property academy, what we realized is that he didn't enjoy the property stuff, but he was really good at the accounting stuff. And he was helping us a lot with our bookkeeping and our reports. and we started giving him more and more of the accounting work. Now he basically looks after all of our finance. So just from us as one client, he's making pretty much a full-time income just from having one client. But he's playing to his strengths. He realized, I tried the property thing, it wasn't for me, but this accounting stuff, I'm good at it, I prefer it, I enjoy it. Let me lean into that. And alhamdulillah, it's worked out very, very well for him. Someone else is asking, can you give rent in cash to landlords? We used to at the beginning. It's too much hassle now because we have so many landlords. When we were a smaller business, we would do that. Now that we got so many properties and so many landlords, it's too much hassle to go to the bank and take cash out. So if a landlord wants cash, we say, sorry, it's not going to be possible. And if that means losing the deal, then unfortunately, so be it. I'm currently working in a pharmacy from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. with average pay, so trying to increase the income. Inshallah. May Allah make it easy for you. It sounds like you're a very hard-working brother. But you also have, after Fajr, you have about 4 hours, let's say 3 hours every morning that you could be working on yourself, working on learning a skill, working on your own business, working on that side hustle. So you just need to now identify something. And I had to try so many things, guys. So many, man. I was selling leather products for Morocco. I was buying and selling cars. I was importing iPhones. I did tutoring. I did so many things. I was refurbishing alloy wheels in my garden. I would buy scruffed up alloy wheels, bring them home, sand them down with my bare hands, use some filler where there were scratches, sand it down again, spray primer all over, and then spray the final coat of paint and make them look brand new. I had to try a lot of different things to find the side hustle. Even the property thing that we did, it was supposed to be a side hustle. It was never meant to be my full-time thing. So what will happen is once you've tried enough things, something will then click, inshallah. Something will then click, inshallah. So let me see if there's any more questions here. What is your company called? We are Sequoia Homes. Sequoia Homes. But alhamdulillah, we've also got a few more things going now. So we've also got an education business. We've also got another type of property management with government contracts. We're trying to move into different areas now, because once you establish yourself in one area, more opportunities start to present themselves. But you have to first establish yourself in one area. You want to become the best at one thing. Then opportunities will start to come. Do you need any architectural help? At this stage, no, because we don't really do too much construction work or development work or any of that. But in the future is something that we might get into, inshallah. So definitely stay in touch. Okay, so I've tackled all of the questions on TikTok. Let's have a look at Instagram. Is there any Islamic bank who can provide loan without interest and buy property? If you're in the UK, there's many options now. There's many alternatives to mortgages. You've got Gatehouse. You've got Stride Up. You got Wayhome. You got FIDA. There are alternatives. And they're there, and we're lucky to have them. So we should get involved, inshallah. We should get involved and do your research. Do your research. The offerings are out there. Wex boy seems to be a bit upset that I'm missing his questions. What is the question, bro? Ask again, because like I said, I've got questions coming on 3 different platforms. I am not going to see everything. So feel free to ask it again and I will answer it. I'll make sure to look for it. Someone is asking, Ihsan supremacy, is the rent guaranteed? If there is void period, ultimately, who's responsible? Is the landlord or your business? Do you support with reasonable conversion to the property to increase rent? Great question. So when we offer guaranteed rent to the landlord, it means guaranteed. You're going to get that full payment every month. Whether I have a void or not, whether my property is full or not, the landlord's getting his full rent. So the risk of voids is on my side, which is why you want to work with contracts or tenants who are going to stay a while, who are also offering guaranteed rent. So for example, if I offer the property to a company who needs to house new software engineers that they've just brought over from India, I would say to them, you can have the house, but I need you to be, guarantee at least 1 or 2 years that they're going to be in here and that you're going to pay me or they're going to pay me. It needs to be guaranteed in some way. But if we give a house to a government organization, the income is guaranteed, but we also offer it to individuals who are looking. I mean, if you go to spareroom.co.uk right now, there are probably 5 times more people looking than there are rooms. So we're not too worried about the voids. Alhamdulillah, our occupancy rate is like 95, 98% all the time. So we are okay with taking that risk from our side. I'm just trying to look through all of the questions on Instagram right now. What is the minimum investment required to start a property business like yours? That is a fair question. Now, what we do obviously doesn't involve buying. It doesn't involve taking out any mortgages, paying deposits, or buying land or doing a big conversion. You don't need a huge amount of capital. Having said that, you can't just come to play with just £1,000. It's not going to work. So you need to start what we're doing. You need around 10K, I would say. You can start with less, but you're going to get stuck. You're going to get stuck. You'll be able to do the first property, but then when the second opportunity comes, you won't have the money for it. So I would say you in your head, you need to have around £10,000. And again, if you don't have that, then play at a slightly lower level, no problem. Do another type of business that can help you get to £10,000 of capital. Or do what I did. You don't need to have the money. You need to find someone who's willing to give you the money. And for me, that was a friend who was working in Saudi, was earning good money, had a lot of spare capital. He was quite happy to invest. And alhamdulillah, he's loving it now. He is a shareholder in our business and the business is doing very, very well, right? So he's loving it. He gets a monthly income for doing nothing. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Okay, so please explain in a trading business, what is more important to use as a measuring tool, ROI or profit? In a trading business, what type of trading? Are we talking about stock trading, commodities trading, just trading normal goods? When you ask me a question, the more details you can give me, the better quality answer I can give you. But generally speaking, profit is always the first thing you want to work out, because you can't even figure out what your ROI is unless you know what the profit number comes to. So do you rent the HMO from landlord and then rent it to people? Yes, that's basically what I've been saying this whole time. Is proofreading startup trend? Is proofreading startup trending in the age of AI? Proofreading. I think now, because of AI, proofreading has become much easier. So people don't really want to pay companies to proofread. I have a friend who had a proofreading business, and he's now slowly moving away from it, moving into more editing and transcribing and translating. How can we join the academy? Again, inshallah, all you have to do is www.sequoiaacademy.co.uk. Sequoia, and mashallah, I've got a camera that follows me around. I've bought a new camera for the live stream on YouTube. Is computer science worth in the future? I think yes, computer science is probably a much more relevant subject than other things like chemical engineering or finance or economics. Computer science is where the future is at. Okay, so any more questions? I come from a civil engineering consultant background. Amazing, mashallah. Is there any new opportunities to join your academy based in the West Midlands? Yes, absolutely. We are looking for partners all across the UK. If you have some relevant experience in property, great, but you don't have to. So I invite you to, inshallah, Brother Adil, I invite you to join the next live presentation where I basically explain how everything works. When is your next masterclass? It'll be on the 20th of April, inshallah. So roughly about a month from now. I don't do any presentations in the month of Ramadan because the focus should be on other things. I don't want to be delivering a 4-hour presentation on a Saturday during Ramadan. So we basically don't do any presentations during Ramadan, which is why we have a huge waiting list for 20th of April. How to talk to a Muslim family when leaving your job to become full-time entrepreneur? Okay, I love this question because I have had difficulties with this as well. So you don't just want to leave your job and start a business. That's very risky. You want to start a business while you're in your job and slowly build that business up. Yes, you will have to work evenings, you're going to have to work weekends, you're going to have to sleep less, no problem. And you want to reach a point where the business is now making the same income as your day job, or maybe more. That's when you should leave the job. I have several partners and mentees who are in that stage. They're making £3,000 a month, £3,500 a month from their job, but they're making £4,000 a month from property. So now it's their choice. If they want to continue making both incomes and they can manage it, good. But if they want to let go of the day job so that they can keep growing the business more, that's also an option. Or another option is quit the job and then just focus on the business part-time, just maintain it. So you're now making a full-time income, only working 5-8 hours a week. That's also an option. But you only get these options when you've built your business income to match your job income. And if you have a business that is making you more money than your day job, nobody in the right mind will be opposed to you leaving the job and focusing on the business. What your family don't want is you leaving a job, leaving a career with no actual plan and there's no actual income. So that's what I did. I went into business. I had no plan, I had no income, and I struggled for 3 years. 3 years I struggled. I was just getting by. And then eventually things started picking up. But now I always advise, keep your job, build your business on the side, slowly. Then a point will come when the incomes are going to be the same. That's when you can start thinking about leaving. If I have a property that I want managed, can I contact Sequoia to help? Absolutely. Anywhere in the country, in the UK, you can contact us and we can give you the options, inshallah. I don't have funds now to join your academy. Is there I can learn and borrow? I need to do something, need your support badly. Wow. So, like I said, first things first, I don't encourage anybody to borrow money to do a business. You don't borrow money. You don't play with other people's money. You can invite someone to be your business partner and to invest to help you start the business, but don't borrow money, because debt is not a good thing in Islam. We don't want any debt. I know, because I was in debt for a long time. And it's not a good feeling. The Prophet ﷺ refused to pray janazah of a person who had debts, and only prayed janazah over them once the debts were paid from his family. We don't want that, and I don't encourage that. Many people out there who are selling courses, they will tell you, just use a credit card. Don't worry. Just use an interest-free credit card. It's cool. You get 18 months to pay it back. We never, ever suggested that to anyone, ever. That's not how we roll. So if you don't have the money, find the money. Invite someone to be your partner. Now, if you struggle to find someone to be a partner, it tells me two things. One thing is you don't have a good network. Second thing is maybe you are not someone people trust or someone people think they would invest in. You're not an investable person. And if that's you, then I don't want you as a business partner, no offense. Because now I'm not, I'm not selling a course, or I'm not looking for people to join my academy. I'm looking for business partners right now. Can the business work in another country like France? Yes, it can. I just personally wouldn't know the intricate detail of how to implement this model in France. But in any city where accommodation is expensive and there's a shortage of housing, my model can work. Jazakallah khair for this live, very beneficial. Alhamdulillah, I'm pleased to hear that, because I had to wake up a lot earlier than I would have liked. So I'm glad at least one person has found value in today's live. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. Brother Saqib is flattering me. How do we dress as handsomely as you? You gotta get your garms from Simply. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up now. I think I've covered most of the questions. Alhamdulillah. Someone is asking now. I've got loads of questions here on TikTok. Let me see if I can tick them off one at a time quickly. Do you have many partners? Yes, I have partners all over the UK right now, about 60. Do you need any architectural help right now? No. Can you advise me? I've sent you a message. Brother, I will look for the message, inshallah. Brother Adil Khan, I will look at the message. Can we invest with you as well? I don't currently take any investment because we don't need it, alhamdulillah. Can I work with you? Yes, you can. Ideally as a partner. Hopefully you're in a part of the country where we don't have any partners right now. What did you do before, and were your skills transferable? Guys, I did so many things before. I worked in sales before. I worked for a consulting company. I worked for a training company. I worked in marketing. I ran a tuition center. I had a coaching business, an interview coaching business. I was buying and selling cars, refurbing alloy wheels. And the important thing here is, as I was doing all of those different things, you start accumulating skills. I was tutoring. I was running a tuition center. I was running a halal investment network. I started running a YouTube channel. Slowly, you start gathering all of these skills, and you gather them. Then when you find the right opportunity, boom, you just go in and you smash it. You just go in and you smash it. So keep gathering skills, keep learning, keep gathering experiences, keep absorbing from mentors, from people who are ahead of you in this journey. Someone is asking, I only use a debit card. Should I ever open a credit card account? I'm not a big fan of credit cards because they're designed to make you pay interest. That's how they're designed. That's how they make money. Even the interest-free ones, the contract says that I agree to pay interest if I'm late with any payments. That's not very Islamic, is it? If the contract said, I agree to drink a shot of whiskey if I'm late with my payments, nobody would sign that. Nobody would sign that contract. Nobody would take that card. So I have a credit card only because sometimes you need it when you're abroad and you want to rent a car. They want a credit card. That's the only reason why I have a credit card. I used to have credit cards before when I was financially struggling, and I cut them all up. I paid them all off and I cut them all up. I personally don't recommend, and that's my opinion. Some people like credit cards because you get points, you get this, you get that, air miles. For me, it's simple. I don't want to be anywhere close to anything to do with riba. I want to stay as far as I can, and that way I'll have blessings in my life, inshallah. Would you move to Dubai? I actually have a business in Dubai, and I have a residency in Dubai, but I don't live there. I prefer the UK. Thoughts of future in UK for our community. SubhanAllah, I've been speaking about this. We spoke about this for 2 hours last night with some friends. In terms of where the UK is going, is not looking like a bright future, but it doesn't mean that we run away from the UK. Because if we all run away, what's going to happen to those who can't run, who have to be here because their parents are here, their kids are in school, and all of these things? So it's a long conversation, but broadly speaking, there are positive things that we can expect. There's a lot of challenges in the future. Okay, so keep your options open. Keep your options open. Why wouldn't you move to Dubai? Because I have, alhamdulillah, I have built a wonderful life here in the UK. I've designed my life the way I've always wanted, alhamdulillah. So for me to now walk away from that makes no sense. I have everything that I've ever wanted. I have my mom living near me. I have a nice place. I have my office near my house. I have my team. I have my friends. I have my community. I have my gym. I have my teachers. I have everything that I've ever wanted. I have businesses that are growing. Why would I want to leave that? Now, if I wasn't in that situation, I would think about it very differently. And that situation is unique. You know, I've spent the last 10 years trying to build the life that I have now. It doesn't make sense for me to leave because of X, Y, and Z. Quality of life may be better in Dubai, but actually no. Quality of life for me means being close to my parents, having a connection with the community, having a circle of friends, a circle of families around me. Yesterday, I had friends in my house until 2 a.m., friends from university. If I was sitting in Dubai, I wouldn't be able to have tea with friends from university. And then our kids are playing as well. And then we're attending classes together and all this. There's a lot of things that you don't actually get in Dubai. You may get a nice mall and nice food and nice weather, but there's other things that are important in life as well. Anyways, brothers, I do have to go because it's well past the hour mark. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you have found value in today's session. And do let me know if you want me to keep doing these lives every Sunday. I'm committed, but it would definitely help me to make it part of my schedule every single week, inshallah. So barakallah fikum. Apologies if I didn't get a chance to answer your questions. We're slowly getting better and better and better with all of managing all of the questions and all of the different platforms. Right now I'm live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. That's 5 platforms where we have to manage all of the different questions and the different queries. Barakallah fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have an amazing rest of Ramadan, and I'll see you on next Sunday. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.